Hello, everybody. So I was going to share a little video with you. This is from a ways back from the Finkel channel. We were live the one day and we got visited by Mr. Nice Guy, whose name is Rich. He mostly does his 1A thing in upstate New York. He's a good guy. I've been watching him for a long time. And he's one that really, he'll go after local government and stuff like that. And he also does the God bless the homeless thing, like Jeff Gray does. Anyway, I will be putting the Mr. Nice Guy link in the description. I'm sorry I didn't think to mark down what the date was that we did this, but I'm sure it's like 2 years ago. But I hope you enjoy it. I'm going to try to find more stuff like this and put it back out there. I can remember interviewing a few different people over the days.
Hey, so can I ask you guys something?
Sure.
Sure. Just a,
So how do you guys feel about these Jeff Can't Be Everywhere videos? You think I'm just a copycatter, just copycatting people, or do you think this is
Oh
making
no, I
sense?
love them. I wish there was 1,000 more guys doing it.
We
Yeah.
do, we do need more people doing this. This is the best litmus test that I have ever seen. I mean, granted, Jeff came up with this, but it is the best litmus test that I can come up that anybody can come up with to judge how the police are going to deal with your rights out on the street versus
Yeah.
the clerk's office or the
Mhm.
town or any municipality or basically any public or private business even, as long as you're out on that sidewalk.
I think
Right.
one of my favorites of Jeff's was when he got thrown off of the property at the Mississippi Civil Rights Museum. Talk about
Oh yeah.
irony.
That was the one with the civil rights highway or trail or something, right?
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, it was on the civil rights trail and they threw him off. That's crazy. We'll see how that works. But yeah, I
And
try
Hey,
not to steal it. It's more of a tribute to Jeff than it is stealing his idea. I mean, I think it's a great cause. You know what I mean?
oh yeah.
I really do. I mean, it's a very noble cause to get out there and bring awareness to homelessness.
I,
yeah.
I wouldn't
Well,
worry about it unless you ever got a message from Jeff saying, "Hey, what the hell you doing?" you know.
Exactly.
But I'm
And I'm gonna
sure
tell you
I'm
what.
sure he's all in favor of it.
Anybody that's going to have a problem with you standing there with a sign that says "God bless the homeless," say a prayer for the homeless, is a complete asshole.
Yep.
You know.
I well, I think I might start doing that because I saw a lot of homeless in DC the other day. There 2 days ago, and I just got to work out how do I get a good video point of view and not be. I guess I have to look up what would DC think about a hidden camera out of view. What I do
I
is I
know.
can leave the camera so I can't say I'm secret.
I know. Sometimes Jeff uses the spyglass cameras, and other times he sets it off at a distance. Personally, I put it in my car in my window, and I let it record through the window separately. It has no audio that's going on in the car. It only has audio on me. So that's basically all I have to do is just pair the two up, and I'm good to go.
Okay, that is interesting. I think I'm
Yeah, I
going to
love.
get my camera back here for today. But I like the idea of doing what you and Jeff do. I just got to
Yeah,
You
I
figure
know,
out
love
it'd
how to.
his.
be
I love his videos. Like I said, it's a tribute to Jeff and what he does.
it'd be an interesting experiment because how a lot of times like you mostly it seems like I mostly see you doing it at churches. Jeff will sometimes do it like in front of a restaurant and stuff, and people really get upset about that. But
Yep.
it'd be interesting to see somebody do it like dressed as a priest and see what people, you know what I mean?
Well,
All of a sudden, it'd be a whole different thing.
I am in one video. I am going to get my suit out and I'm going to dress in my suit and I'm going to go out there and hold my "God bless the homeless" sign up
Yep.
in front of up in front of a restaurant or a business or maybe even a township, just to see. We have some special events coming up here in Utica between April 3rd and April 14th, I think it is. So I might head on over and test the international waters a little bit,
That'd be good.
and see what happens with God Bless the Homeless over there.
Cool.
You know, it's funny you say that because we were watching one that was done in front of a church, and I mentioned, I'd like to see the difference, see if there was the difference in the reactions if someone was out there in a suit, suit, tie, and
Yep.
doing the exact same thing, but just to see the difference in the reaction.
Yeah, I believe it'll be immense. You know, there won't be a lot of assumptions going on there.
It's disgusting. Sometimes, like, neither you or Jeff really dress down a whole lot. You're just wearing like sort of like regular work clothes or whatever.
I wear the
And
same clothes. I wore the same clothes I wore to my work every day. That's what I did.
yeah, and
Yeah.
the way some of the people treat you, thinking you're homeless,
Oh, it's horrible.
it's a,
It is a lonely feeling out there when you're surrounded by thousands of people and nobody sees you.
yeah.
You know, I mean, think about these homeless people down in New York City. You have 9 million people running around in that city down there, and everybody passes these people, and they don't even give them a second glance. Whenever I see a homeless person, I always look that person in the eye and I say, "I see you," because I know what a difference is. I do these videos, and it takes a lot. Let me tell you what, man, it takes a lot for me to get out there and do these videos because even though I'm not homeless and I got a home to go to and I'm warm and I'm fed, there's still a feeling that comes along with standing out there under the assumption that people are going to assume that you're homeless and that they cast that down on you. It's a very humbling feeling, and it takes a lot out of you emotionally just to get out there and do it.
Yeah.
It really does.
That might be a good idea. When I was in DC the other day, I kept these guys on live for the whole time, and I just got my bonus. And every time I see a homeless person, I give them a 20, and I'm thinking this is not sustainable year round. So
No.
the eye contact thing, yeah.
The thing I noticed about you doing though, you didn't just stick money in their can or whatever. You said hello to everybody.
Yeah.
You
Yep.
I like the one guy who says, "Hey, if anybody comes fuck with you, I got your back."
yeah.
That was great. I'll probably never see him again. But hey, Muckster, while we got him on the line, send the link to Summers. I think he would enjoy Summers' videos.
Yeah.
Yeah. Send me that.
She part of what she does is outreach to the homeless. And one
Oh,
of the
really?
things I like about her, and she does it every Wednesday, and she does it live. But when she interacts with anybody, she points the camera at the ground, so she's not like taking advantage of them. But the other
Sure.
thing too is she treats everybody with respect, and I think that means more to them than the food she hands them or the blankets or whatever.
Yeah. I agree with you. Yeah, I try not to exploit any of the homeless people either. There's a lot of people that I see out there that are homeless that don't end up making it on my video. They're already at a point in their life where they don't need to be exploited, you know?
It's going to be family busy, but this coming week I'm going up to Oneida for about 6 or 7 days.
Yeah, baby. Do I hear collaboration here? Collaboration, maybe? Well, what's going on?
If I have time, again, it's family busy. I might not have time,
Sure.
but if I have time, uh, I'd like to. Yeah, I'd like to do that. I don't know what if you want to do a combined audit, or if I'll pretend like I'm auditing and you pretend like you're doing your ticket and we run into each other. I don't know.
Yeah. That's at the very least, let's get together and have a cup of coffee or something, you know?
Okay.
I'd love to meet you.
There's two purposes for my trip. One is my daughter's moving; she's out moving. And the other is my mom's boyfriend's getting surgery. So between those two things, I don't know how much time I have for fun. But
Are you gonna be up for the weekend?
coming up Monday, and because of my work schedule, I'll probably return the following Monday.
Okay. So all right, you got like a week up here then, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Send me an email on my Mr. Nice Guy activism link, and I'll send you my phone number.
Okay.
You can just text me or get a hold of me when you want to hook up.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah,
If,
yeah.
if
I'm looking
family
forward to
emergency,
it.
I'm too busy. I apologize if you don't hear from me. Well,
Yeah,
at least
no,
I'll let
it's
you know.
fine.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
keep
no,
you
it's fine.
apprised. See where we're going with
Yeah,
that.
we're usually up in Oneida on Mondays or Tuesdays. That's
Okay.
usually our plan, but I wouldn't be against coming up, during any time just to meet you and talk to you.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be cool.
That would be great.
And Muckster to confirm, I'm down to one pair of camera glasses. That
Okay.
pair of CR is instead. They still make nice sunglasses, though.
It's like being in a doctor's office, isn't it? Are
I
they
know,
coming
right?
for me this time?
I did a video yesterday. I thought the same thing. I was out handing out end qualified immunity stickers and brochures out front of the
That's what
Herkimer County.
I saw it and I kept forgetting to go back and watch it. I saw the title on that. Yeah.
Yeah, out front of the Herkimer County office buildings, and where all the elected officials sit and all the cops and all their buddies are all inside that building. So I decided I'd hand out stickers and some pamphlets to and we have, and currently in New York State right now, we have two bills going through right now. We have the Senate Bill 182 A, which is abolish qualified immunity bill, and then there's also an Assembly bill going through for the abolish the qualified immunity. So New York City's already done this, and so has Florida. In Florida, the politicians are quitting in groves right now because they don't want to operate in a system where they don't have a safety net to not be sued by the public. So
Right.
all these, you know, lifetime, lifetime politicians down in Florida are just up and quitting. They don't want anything to do with it. Well, I think that's great because what it's going to do, it's going to attract people that actually don't care about transparency and that want to
Yeah.
be transparent. You know what I mean? So it's going to attract a whole nother. Same with the police. When you have, no longer that protection, you're going to have people that are going to say, "Oh, I couldn't operate like that under a police where I'd have to, not tell on my buddy." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think the unqualified immunity and it levels the playing field for the citizens.
Yeah,
I always thought it was funny when they first started putting, cameras out all over, traffic cameras and if anybody would say anything about it, the cops or whoever would say, well, if you've got nothing to hide, you shouldn't care.
Yeah, right.
Then all of a sudden when people start filming them, it's like, hey, wait a minute, you can't do that.
But yeah, they say that when they want to search your car too. Well, you got nothing to hide. My wife
Yeah.
wants to fall for that all the time, and I'm like, but we bought this car used. We don't know where this car came from. It could have had a trip to Mexico in it. I have no idea. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
there's a
And
question on the screen for the more educated on this. Politicians, don't they get absolute immunity like judges? That's from Jared Fisher.
What I like, what I'm hearing, both in New York, a very blue state, and Florida, a very red state. So it doesn't matter your politics. Both states are going for the same laws regarding qualified immunity. I
right,
like that.
I like that too. Tells me it's nonpartisan.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
New York City already abolished qualified immunity, so we're just waiting on the rest of the state to do it.
they passed some type of legislation in Florida where, yep, normally the higher elected officials have to have a full disclosure of all of their assets and everything.
Yep, yep.
Well,
Had that happen.
they made that to where even the small town mayors and staff, clerks and such, they also have to do a full disclosure of everything they have. That would, I think, the value would be I think they said it at $1,000 or more.
Hmm.
They have to do a full disclosure on everything they have. And you were talking about the politicians that were leaving in droves. There were a lot of them that left. They went into effect, they had to have it filled out by December 31st,
Yep.
and a lot of politicians left. The smaller town politicians, that level, a lot of those left. They didn't want to have all of their assets out there. Didn't want it
No,
to be all public and stuff. So.
but you know what though? There's 10 guys out there that'll take that one person's job and absolutely show everything they have and be totally transparent.
Yeah.
And those are the people we want.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
I was just
I'm gonna log
bringing
off
that up.
here,
So, sorry.
set up my 1 o'clock live stream, and then go back to where I just reconned, and I'll come up on the other stream at 1 o'clock or close to it.
Now, where would I be looking for that, Dave?
It should be on this same channel, wouldn't it?
On the same channel? Okay. What is it, 12 now? Okay.
How do I turn this thing off without crashing?
Well, guys, I enjoyed being on today. Thank you so much, Muck. It was nice meeting you, boss.
Yeah.
Same with you, Kel.
Yeah.
Same with you there, Kellen.
Glad to sort of meet you face to face.
Right?
We got one last comment down here that just popped up. I haven't had a chance to read it. I just says, curious how legislation will play out in courts. Qualified immunity was created by the Supreme Court. So curious how an appeal to them would play out with abolished qualified immunity legislation.
That is a good question. That is something that'll probably be tested, I would imagine.
Yeah. Remains to be seen, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, gentlemen,
Well,
it looks like
Colorado abolished it. It's been 2 years now, and so far, haven't seen anything about anybody challenging it there.
Yep.
Yeah.
gentlemen, I think I'm going to drop off here. My wife will be back anytime. So
Yeah, might as well.
I'll leave this in your capable hands. And I will try and talk to you all next time around.
Awesome, man. It was nice
Good
talking to you,
Keller.
boss.
Good talking to you. Talk to you later, Muck.
Yep.
Yeah, Muck, I missed you last time I was on Dave's show.
Oh, yeah.
He said, he goes, Mom, Muck's going to miss this one.
Yeah, I've been watching you for a while.
Thanks, man. I appreciate the support.
Yeah, I like your style.
Well,
Yeah,
you know what?
you-
I named myself Mr. Nice Guy, so it would be held to a certain accountability for me to be nice to people. It's kind of hard to be nice to people when everybody's being an asshole to you all the time. But I'll tell you what, man, it could be a lot worse than it is. Every once in a while, I flash my teeth and I become Mr. Not So Nice Guy. So
Yeah.
it happens, and I apologize to the people that want to always see me being Mr. Nice Guy, but you know, it doesn't always work like that, folks. Even Mr.
Yeah, I
Nice
can
Guy,
remember.
even Mr. Nice
can
Guy
remember
gets
a
pissed
couple
off
of
once in a
times.
while.
A couple of times you saying that. Well, I guess I wasn't quite Mr. Nice Guy today, but it's hard to not let people get under your skin.
It is, especially when there's 3 or 4 of them standing there surrounding you and trying to intimidate you and all that bullshit too. So I try to be as nice as I possibly can, but again, it's hard. Definitely hard.
But it's like I've said to Finkel before. I'd like to, sometime when I could manage to. I always think, oh, I'd like to go out there, but
She's on it though,
I don't-
because she's taking the day off. Okay.
I don't think I could be like you guys. I wouldn't be able to stay calm all the time.
Sometimes I'm boiling though. You just don't see it.
I told him before. He said something one time about the two of us going out together. I said, yeah, but we'll want to be at opposite ends of the block, so you won't be stuck next to the guy that's telling the police to go fuck off.
I try not to do that.
Yeah, I hope you two do get to go out together. That'll be
Yeah,
cool to
that
see.
would be great. So I don't go out and do any municipal audits anymore without having a partner from now on.
It's a good idea.
I'm not gonna deal with, after what happened in Little Falls. I'm not gonna deal with any of these people like that anymore. It's gonna be with just more than me. these God Bless the Homeless videos are a little safer, I guess you could call them. Let's face it, if you're out there and you have a problem with me standing there saying God bless the homeless, you are the problem. You know,
I know.
there's nothing you can come back on me for that. I've done nothing, and it's you, folks. It's you if you've got the problem.
That's what that's
I
what
can't control how people's emotions are, you know.
that's what amazed me when Jeff started doing that. It's like, God bless the homeless vets. What could you possibly have a problem with?
You can't, you know, there's no possible way, especially when somebody walks up to you and he says, I'm not taking money, I'm just bringing awareness to homelessness and the vets. I
Yeah.
mean, what they obviously don't believe him, you know what I mean? You know, and they just, let's face it, people just want to make stuff up.
Barbara Rogers says she's subbed to your channel.
Thank you, Barbara. I appreciate that.
Yeah, and you know, you guys prove that you don't have to instigate to get good
No,
videos. You know, there's some that they poke at the cops or whatever to get reactions.
yeah, I just assume them not call the police, to be honest with you. I would rather have that interaction with the person, explain to them what we're doing, and, you know, be on your way. You know, you don't have to call the police. But, you know, they'll call the police, they'll make up different stories. You're taking money, you're doing this, you're screaming. I hear all the time that I'm yelling, you know, just by saying, hey, God bless the homeless folks. You know, that's not yelling. It's my normal voice. You know, I'm yelling, I'm looking in people's windows, whatever.
Yeah, yeah. I always like when they say, "Oh," and they're begging for money. You know,
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
and you and Jeff both go, "Hey, no, it's okay." You know, and
And well, here's the thing too is if you watch my Sylvan Beach where the guy from Eddie's restaurant comes out and tries to run me off the sidewalk.
okay, I think it's
Trooper Cato comes out. It was a really shitty audio one. It was one of those ones. I've since got the body cam footage from Trooper Cato, and I re-released the video yesterday, and you can
okay.
just hear he knows. Now this trooper comes in and knows exactly what I'm doing, and still treats me like that.
Yeah,
So he knew my rights. He knew I had all the right in the world to be there, but yet he still goes and does what he does, and that's threaten me with arrest and threaten me with harassment and threaten me with all this bullshit. And finally, at one point, I just looked at him. I go, you got $5? He's like, what? I said, you got $5? I said, I'm asking you for $5. I said, what are you gonna do about it? You ain't gonna do nothing about it because you can't. There's no statute for you to do anything about it. And you know, they just kind of stood there, you know, and we kept going in circles, round and round and round, you know, on the merry-go-round. But yeah, in the end, they packed up in their car and they left, and I stood there for another 20 minutes.
don't you hate when there'll be the ones where the cop talks to you or whoever, and they're like, "Yeah, yeah, I know you got every right to do this. That's fine."
Oh
Then they
yeah,
go and talk to the business, and they're like, "Wow,
yeah.
he's just trying to get your goat.
Yeah.
He's looking to make a video." You know?
These are the ones that piss me off. Unfortunately, we can't
Yes,
do anything. When you
yes,
come, if you say unfortunately, I'm gonna probably lose my shit on you. I call. You'll see me call these police officers out every single time they say unfortunately we can't do anything. I said no. Fortunately, we have rights in this country,
yeah,
and fortunately, you're going to uphold my rights or you're going to violate them. One or the. I don't argue with these guys anymore. I'm not. When I first started doing these God Bless the Homeless videos, I did one at the coffee shop in Utica. I did a couple of them. I did the one up in Sylvan Beach. I argued with these guys. I don't need to argue with anybody. I'm not arguing with anybody from now on. If you're going to come out and you're going to have a problem, I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to win that fight because you know what? In the end, you make me leave and we're going to have an issue, you know? And that's it. I'm not going to win that fight because in the end, what? I want you to leave so I can go file a complaint on you and get something changed. That's what I want,
I know.
you know?
I've
Let's
seen some of them.
make change, you
Sometimes they
know?
say, some of them they'll go, "Yeah, you're looking for a lawsuit to make money," and it's like, you know, Jeff has had so many lawsuits, and like some of it's like he gets 7,000 cash or
Yeah.
something like
I
that.
mean,
You know, you're not making a living off of that.
the
When
most
you,
I've ever seen any of his videos get, he got like $10,000 from a video one time, I think. I'm not even,
yeah,
don't quote me on that, but it's not much after
I
you
was
pay.
actually thinking I saw one that was 10. Yeah,
Yeah, and after you pay the lawyers and court fees and all, man, there ain't much
And,
left. And
and
no
spend
lawyer
two,
wants to work
yeah,
for, you know,
yeah,
$2,000. You know what I'm saying?
especially when it takes 2 years to get it through all the court
I,
and everything.
I've done 130 of these videos, and I've yet to sue anybody.
Yeah.
And my rights have been violated at least a dozen times. I would rather exact the change. I'd rather go to that lieutenant and say, "Hey, listen, lieutenant, Tripper Planny was the nicest guy on the thruway, but he still violated my rights at the end of the day." I said he was the nicest guy to ever violate my rights, but you know, he did. So let's change this. You know, and they did. They had a meeting. The authority, the thruway authority, actually had a meeting because they haven't discussed First Amendment rights ever on the thruway because there was never a need to.
There's,
But yeah,
don't,
if you get dropped off on the thruway now, folks, and you want to panhandle for some cash, you probably make about $60 an hour doing it.
don't, don't you love this one too? This is private property. It's owned by the state.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's what they were telling me. Yeah. I said, how is something that starts with the New York State Thruway Authority? I go, how is that private? It has the word New York State right in it. I mean, come on, guys. That's not a hard one to figure out.
You got to give them credit on that one, though. They actually admitted they were wrong.
Oh, absolutely. That was great. Yeah, his lieutenant called me within 2 days and said, "Yeah, we're starting an investigation in it because so many people have been calling, and you want to make a complaint against Trooper, and it is what it is, you know." And they basically, he said, "I'm sorry." He goes, "I run from Syracuse to Fonda, and which is a ways away. It's like 100-mile range on the thruway." And he goes, "You won't have any more problems." So I've tested it twice now, and I haven't had any more problems. The guy come out the other day. He's like, "Hey, just passing the good word." I'm like, "Yeah, passing the good word, buddy. I'll go tell them thanks." And that was great. That's changed. It's a little changed,
Yeah.
but it's
Well,
changed.
that's when Finkel the other day was in downtown
Yeah.
D.C. when he was doing it live. He had very
Yeah.
little trouble.
Yeah. All right, I'll get it
And
set up and we'll get a truck in.
I said to him, yeah, this maybe isn't going to generate a lot of views, but it's actually a good thing.
Yeah.
He just had a few minor confrontations, but nobody called the cops. Nobody tried to chase him off.
That's always a good thing. This is the only profession that the goal at the end of the day is to put yourself out of business.
Yeah.
Think about that. That's the main focus of this group that we all belong to now is to put yourself out of business. So you don't have somebody coming up and doing, acting stupid on video, The thing that kills me the most, Muck, is half the time these police officers and these people know our rights. They just don't give a shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they still go and act the way they act,
Yeah. They, especially a lot of times you'll see the ones with like a traffic pullover or something.
Oh yeah,
And
just
they're
being
just hoping
difficult.
that the person doesn't know their rights and they just bullshit them. And
Yep. They try.
I'll tell you,
Sure do try.
another thing I'd like to see changed, the qualified immunity is a big one. Places keep getting, but the whole thing about cops being allowed to lie,
Yeah,
I think that should be. I could see, like in an interrogation, like if they say, "Oh, we have a witness that saw you do it." Well, if the person's innocent, they're gonna say, "Well, no way." But I think the line should be drawn at a cop lying about what the law is.
I agree with you.
We have a law that says you have to show your ID. There definitely should be a line drawn.
And during a traffic stop too, they should have to tell you when they first pull you over what you're being
Yeah.
pulled over for. That way, when the narrative changes and all of a sudden they didn't pull you over for the tail light, they didn't pull you over for the light, they didn't pull you over. See what they do. We know they have a checklist that they go down through, and when one thing doesn't stick, they just start to go to the other. Now, by not telling you what that is, they have a whole laundry list of stuff that they can go to. That should change, and it's changed. They're actually doing this out in California right now, where they have to tell you now what they pull you over for, and I think that would stop a lot of people from saying, "Gee, what'd you pull me over for?" And that starts
Mhm.
the interaction right there that usually goes bad. when all of a sudden you're not complying because you're demanding to know what this cop just pulled you over for. And now all of a sudden that escalates into, I'm going to yank you through your window, I'm going to break your window, or I'm going to get you out of this car. Where all they had to do in the first place was just come up and say, hey, I pulled you over today because you were speeding. That would
So many
alleviate
times,
that would alleviate all that
yeah.
bullshit that goes on where people not wanting to provide their information before they're told what they've been pulled over for. You know?
So many times you'll see those ones where the cop comes up and he'll say speeding, and the guy will go, well, my GPS right here records my speed. Well, you
Yeah.
didn't use your turn signal.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know?
exactly. So what is it? Is it the speeding or is it the turn signal? Yep.
And then, of course, go ahead.
I had a police officer pull me over at 2:15 in the morning. I was just coming back from I'd gone to see a Grateful Dead tribute kind of band type thing down in Saratoga, New York. And me and my buddy, who was severely agoraphobic, I won't even get into that. But him and I were, and he was like 6'5", big dude with a ponytail like down to his middle of his back. So very intimidating looking guy. We got pulled over in Fonda. The guy said I was doing 50 and a 30. The cop did at 2:15 in the morning. So obviously he was just out there fishing for drunks. You know what I mean? I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't do anything. I might as well have a little collar on that's white right here. I don't do anything. So he tells us, hey, you were doing 50 and a 30. I said, no, no, no. I said, right here. I go, I got a dash cam right there. I said, it just recorded everything as I came by that 30 sign back there. So at that point, he still, pulled me over for my license. It got my license, got my registration, got all that. And in the end, I got no ticket for going 50 because he knew he didn't have it because obviously I got a dash cam. And they were at one point, my buddy's going to get out of the car because he's having a panic attack. And I turned to him and I tell him, I say, Jeff, I go, you're 6'5", and I go, you're 300 pounds. I said, if you get out of this car, I go, that cop's going to shoot you at 2 in the morning. I said, I'm gonna be crawling on the ground going, don't shoot him, he's agoraphobic. But no, we ended up not getting
Don't shoot. He doesn't have any acorns.
No, exactly. Throw a couple of them on top of our car. But yeah, I mean, had I not had that, this is the point of my video. Had I not had that dash cam, I would have been getting a ticket for 50 and a 30
Yep.
that day.
Good.
And probably
I like-
breathalyzer test too.
I was going to say, I'm surprised he didn't do the old, I think I smell pot.
Well, actually, he did. He took my license. So I gave him my license and my registration and my insurance card. He took my license back to his car. It was the middle of winter. It was on my birthday in December. He took the license back to the car. He comes back to the car. He hands me. He goes, Mr. So and so, is there any reason why your license would smell of marijuana? I go, marijuana. I go, what do you? And I said it in such a disgusted voice. I'm like, marijuana, like I've never heard of it before, But there was a reason why it smelled like marijuana.
and this is why I would get in trouble, because I would say something like, well, maybe it was just on your fingers.
I know, right? But yeah, I made it sound like it was the most disgusting thing ever. And I'm like, no, I couldn't imagine why that would. Apparently, he put it up on his dashboard. The what do you call it? The air from his heater blew it right in his face. So yeah, whatever. I got a ton of police stories over the years, man. I'll tell you.
I'll bet.
Over the years, we've all been violated by these people. I mean, directly, indirectly, just for seeing something that you shouldn't have seen.
Hey, Michael. Yeah, they were all saying the same thing.
Where? Let's see if I can find the chat here. Comments. Here we go.
I wish I'd have thought to start streaming this to my channel when you first came up. This would have been a good separate. I'll have to tell Finkel to separate this out later and just upload a one-on-one with Mr. Nice Guy.
Oh, there you go. So how many subs do you got on your channel? And what is your channel anyways?
Mine's Osceola Muckster, but I just do sort of like, what do you want to call them? Like blog type things. I'll just talk about my family, stuff like that. I just got like 100 people.
Okay.
I heard bad things.
Uh,
I can't
Pickle's
believe I'm still-
listening. That's what he said. He's going to separate this out and do a separate video of it.
Is he
I think
gonna?
people will be interested in seeing you.
Awesome. Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Hey, you good?
Yeah, I'm still waiting on
Yeah.
my car. Apparently, I have a computer issue.
Yeah. Yeah, because he's got like, I mean, you're obviously bigger, but he's got like 7,000 people. So there could be some that don't know you yet.
Yeah, I don't know if I've featured any of his videos on my thing or not. I think I did that one where he did the bank or was that the one? Maybe I didn't. There was one where he did a gun shop up in Oneida or
Oh,
Cheryl,
yeah. Yeah.
and they were accusing him of being me.
Yep. Yeah. I saw that.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah. He
Yeah,
realized later who they were talking about.
yeah. They accused him of being me, and he was doing it all for a lawsuit. Yeah, that's what their narrative is on everything. Everything's a lawsuit. Everything's or to
Yeah.
push some buttons. You ain't got to push nobody's buttons. If you know what I'm doing, why would you act like that anyways? You know what I'm saying?
That's what I was just going to say. I get that I mean, that's what I think all the time is when they'll say, "Oh, I know you're just here trying to get me on film and stuff," and it's like, well, then why did you walk out there? You
And
know?
acting the way you did. I mean, they
Yeah.
come out and they still act this way even after knowing what you're doing. I mean,
Yeah.
who doesn't know?
Or
Who
what
doesn't
they
know
think you're doing. Yeah.
who doesn't know what a First Amendment audit is nowadays? You know what I'm saying? If you're a
Uh,
cop and you don't know what a First Amendment audit is, you should not be an officer. Your detective skills are zero.
I've said several times when I'll be watching some of them, I think, especially when I look, I guess I've been watching now for maybe it's been like a year now that I first discovered you guys, But then when I look back and saw how some of these guys have been doing it for years,
Yeah,
and I'll see these cops and I think, how have they not got the memo yet?
no. These have actually been going on since like 2013, 2014. It's been 10 years.
I was gonna say 10 years, and then I thought maybe I was exaggerating.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been 10 years. You go watch some of Jeff's videos and they're back in 2013.
Yeah, like he used to do those um what do you call it? Sobriety checkpoint.
Oh, yep.
And
yep.
he would just be going, no, 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 you didn't have a reason to pull me over. I'm not giving. And eventually they'd be like, go ahead.
Oh, go. Yeah, I've got we don't have a lot of those up here. I mean, I've been through like one in my driving career of 30 plus years. So I don't think they do a lot of them up here.
Yeah, I've never been to one either. But then I don't go out driving on like New Year's Eve. I think around here that's a lot of times when they'll be doing them and stuff like that. If you think I'm just trying to bait you, why did you come over here and let me bait you? Yeah,
Let me bait you.
exactly.
Exactly. Yeah, I just think that some people just, it's like those people on Facebook that can't pass a comment and not say nothing.
Yeah.
I think there's just a lot of people out there in law enforcement and in government basically that just they can't help themselves. You know what I mean? They gotta know, and they're going to give you an issue no matter what.
Anarchy says he was cop watching before the internet was invented.
Yeah, I was too. What I used to do is when they first came out with the seatbelt laws here in New York, which is got to be around like late '90s maybe. I used to stand down on the corner here in Ilion, New York, and I had a sign that said, "Seatbelt check around the corner. Buckle your belt."
Oh yeah.
And I actually got harassed by the police back then, and they told me that they were going to arrest me if they caught me doing it again.
I remember seeing somebody do that with a speed trap the one time. And the cops came up and was giving them a hard time. I can't remember who it was. Card says cops, librarians, post office workers, DMV workers all should know the deal by now.
They should. Yep. I like educating the public, to be honest with you. I love educating the public because the public doesn't know jack about our rights or their own
No.
rights at this point. People, these are rights that you, the public, have. Same rights that I got, and I don't know. I just don't get it. I mean, people are just so willing to give up their rights for public safety and for, feelings. My rights don't end where somebody else's feelings start,
I
Absolutely.
was always history and civics was always my favorite class in school. And
Yep.
it just drives me nuts how many people have no idea what the Bill of Rights is.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
Yep.
you don't have to be able to recite it word for word, but you should at least have an idea what the rights are that you're being guaranteed.
Yep. Exactly. I try to explain to everybody too, like, they're like, well, what's the law for that? What's the laws are made for telling me what I can't do, right? They don't pass a law to tell me what I can do. I have rights to tell me exactly what I can do. And then there's laws that are passed to tell you what you can't do. I think people get that confused a lot.
Yeah.
They're like, well, what right or what law gives you the right to do this? Well, no law gives me the right to do anything. The law tells me what I can't do, not what I can do. And
I
I think people get confused about that a lot.
remember seeing one, I think it might have been KULT, I'm not sure. He was outside of a bank,
I like him.
and yeah, and he's always got backup and nobody knows about her.
Uh,
But the bank when the cop talked to the bank, he said, well, apparently there's a federal law that says you can't, record through their window. And he said, no, that's not true. And the cop says, well, can you show me that? It's like, how am I supposed to show you a law that does not exist?
yeah, I don't have to show you anything. You're the one that has to put the burden of proof of guilt on me. I don't have to prove my innocence. You got to prove that I'm guilty of doing something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's a crazy world we live in today. I'll tell you.
Well, sort of decided he's going to do the McDonald's Wells Fargo Krispy Kreme area. I'll log in at 1 p.m. on the other stream. That's the one I
Okay.
was going to. I don't think you might not be here anymore. Or maybe watching over there. That's the one I was going to choose, but I didn't want to go out on a limb.
McDonald's are always fun, especially if they're close to the driveway, or if the drive-through is close to the sidewalk. Always makes for a
That's-
very interesting video.
I remember KULT. Was it him? Maybe it wasn't. It might have been the okay, like Nasty Nathaniel and First Amendment rights. They got together a lot, and
Yep.
but like they do a lot of drive-throughs. I think it was them, and I always thought, what would really get one of those, how they used to have those old where you count the cars things.
Count 'em. Yeah, yeah.
Stand there doing that. That would really confuse people. Then
I could imagine. Yeah, I'm also gonna do videos where I just start lying to people. So where they ask me what I'm doing, I'm gonna be like, oh, so listen, so Alec Baldwin was supposed to be here today. Yeah, I'm gonna just start making shit up off the top of my head just to appease people's feelings, and I'm gonna lie to them just like I was a cop.
Yeah.
And
One
that-
I thought I would use if I was out there is when they, especially like if you're a business going, at a business or something, and they come
Yep.
out and ask what you're doing. I always figured I'd say, I just go where the lawyers tell me to.
Oh,
Let them wonder why a lawyer is.
right.
Yeah.
You're a private investigator at that point.
Well, why did they say? I don't know. Have you had anybody like fall and get hurt lately or anything like that? Just get them real paranoid then.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Though I'm gonna just start giving people whatever I think that person needs or wants from me at that point. I'm just gonna make it up and give it to them.
Michael Andre
Yeah.
said, say that Jimmy Hoff is buried nearby.
Yeah, I'm in upstate New York, guys. He could be.
Yeah, that's true. I remember hearing that.
They used
people
to meet not too far from here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, that's where what was it, back in the 30s when they had that big, when
Yep.
it was like, is that like some lodge or something upstate where they had
Yeah,
the big meeting
yeah.
of all the bosses?
Yeah, it was a big farm up here.
So it
They
was.
used to meet. They used to meet at. Yeah. They had all the bosses, and they filmed the whole. The thing about it is that it was all observed by the law enforcement. They all knew what was happening, and crazy for the 30s.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I want to plan on getting out there and doing some more activism here. I've been a little bit on the light side lately just because of what I've had going on legally. Still haven't heard anything from the DA's office saying they're going to dismiss the charges. Apparently, they're doubling down on the fact that they think that I maced him twice. So they're saying that the second macing was unnecessary, even though
Uh,
I'd used all my pepper spray in the first pepper spraying. So at some point where I'm being chased into the middle of the parking lot by this maniac and being assaulted, and I'm backing up the whole time, I stop and try to mace and try to spray him again. And at that point, it was already empty because they only let you carry 0.75 ounces. I'd already used it all on the first time. So
mm,
there was no point in this video of the town of Little Falls where we actually came apart until the middle of the parking lot. So I can't understand why they're not, dropping these charges and actually going, after this guy for blatantly lying to the police inside that building that day and breaking my equipment and getting me arrested for this crap. You know what I mean?
I was, I was, I was just curious. I have one here. I don't know what what does it say?
The one farmer come up to me.
I can't see.
What do you got, Muck?
A little pepper spray thing. I was just
Oh,
wondering
yeah.
how many ounces it said.
Yeah, in New York State, I think the legal max that you can carry is 0.75 ounces. And like I said, I went like this, and it was gone. And
Mm,
when he was still coming forward, and I hit him, and I tried to hit him again, there was nothing there. So that's what they're banking down. They're double down on the fact that they said that I maced him twice, and that was unnecessary because I should have ran. So after he punched me in the face, and we came together and had an alteration, I should have ran. And I'm 54 years old. I ain't doing much running. Let me tell you that right now. I don't run anymore. I can't run. It's just not in me anymore. If I want to fall and break an ankle, yeah, maybe I can run. But you'll see if you watch that video, you watch that last strip in the video where it's the parking lot video, you'll see me backing up the whole time. I never come forward,
mm,
and this man attacks me, three of them, out into the middle of the parking lot. And you'll see him claim all sorts of nonsense in this video about why I was there and what I didn't tell them and what I did tell them and how I was acting. I mean, you've watched the video, I'm sure, right?
yeah.
So
Yep.
yeah, I'm not telling you anything you don't already know. If you weren't pissed off about that video with me exposing that guy's lies, then you ain't even got a heartbeat. Because that should make you pissed, regardless of how I acted, and regardless of whether or not I told somebody to go play with somebody's cock inside the building. Is has nothing to do with that guy coming over and punching me in the face.
Exactly.
If he didn't like what was going on, then he should have called the police. Let the police handle it. You don't come out and do that. Yeah. So the official word was that I walked up to him after looking into the vehicle and him saying, "Hey, get away from that vehicle." After that happened, he said that I turned to him, I came up to him, faced him, punched him in the face. Never happened, you know?
It's
And
like
I
some
just don't,
people don't know how cameras work.
yeah, I know, right? Well, see, the fact is they took my camera inside and smashed it with a ball peen hammer.
Uh,
My, I had somebody that was able to remove the logic board inside my phone and fix it and and extract the video from that. Otherwise, I would have had nothing. I mean, it would have been their three words against mine, and obviously three of them against one is, it's
yeah.
not fair here. But yeah, they all made out statements against me. They all lied. His boys didn't really lie to all that much. Not a one of them said that they saw who threw the first punch, right? And I think they were willing to lie to him up to a certain point, but they weren't. We're going to lie to him about who threw the first punch.
Yeah.
So at that point, if nobody said I threw the first punch and nobody said he threw the first punch, and he's saying I threw the first punch and I'm saying he threw the first punch, isn't that a wash?
Yeah.
That's my word against his. So that charge should be gone, because it's his word against mine. And none of his boys said that I threw the first punch or he did. So at that, all you have left is me using the pepper spray on him, which they got me for using a nauseous chemical against him. It was a Class B misdemeanor. And like I said, I'm still waiting for these. I provided them with all the information, all the video on this, and they still haven't come back and said, "Rich, we're going to dismiss your charges. We're going to bring Donnie Cotton up on charges."
Well, they never like to say that they got it wrong.
No, no,
Michael wants to know if you have a court date yet.
no, I do not. So I went to my first court date, which I thought was my first court date. The judge recused himself from the case because it's in the town of Little Falls. So he recused himself. He's also the judge in German Flats and Ilion and some other places. So we won't be having court in any of his jurisdictions. There's been a lot of these municipalities that I've already been to that I've done audits. So I'm not going to want to have my trial or whatever, my court date there either, because obviously they're going to feel a certain way because I came to their, town or whatever. So I'm looking for a township that I haven't been to, which is few and far in between right now at this point. And somebody, that'll be fair to me. You know what I mean?
No, you'll know when they finally realize they have a losing case when they come to you and go, look, we'll let you plead to a misdemeanor disturbing the peace, or
No.
something like that.
Yeah. Well, one thing Rich doesn't do is Rich doesn't plead to anything. I will take this to the end of time. I will take this, and I will absolutely take this to trial. And then the town of Little Falls is going to have a can of whoop ass on their hand after that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
They should
yeah.
they should have already came forward to me with an apology and said, I am sorry what our guy Don Cotton did to you. And none of them. And here's the thing too, is the judge that I was investigating that day for possession of cocaine and intent to sell cocaine, now has a special prosecutor. So it took me until last week to get out of the Herkimer County DA's office that they'd actually assigned a special prosecutor to his case. Honestly, I don't think that they were going to do anything with this case until all of a sudden I put a spotlight on it, and now it's made the news. You know what I mean? So I don't think they were going to do anything. I think they were going to sweep this under the rug. Mitchell Souls was going to end up being a judge somewhere else. I mean, who knows what they were going to do? But
Yeah.
I honestly believe that you hadn't heard anything for 6 months on this judge possessing this cocaine and intent to sell, and now all of a sudden they have a special prosecutor in December. No, you did that because I'm investigating you. And
Yep.
I also think that the timing of my video when I released the Town of Little Falls video, so they were also investigating an alleged local guy who was alleged to be selling drugs out of his house, right? Who was a neighbor of this Don Cotton guy's house. And you see him on my video, he actually turns his neighbor in for the drugs. And he calls him right out. Hey, what are you going to do about so and so down the street? And she goes off on a little rant about how we arrested him. There's nothing we can do. He's just waiting on trial. So meanwhile, they were continuing to investigate. They were continuing to investigate this guy, even though he's out on bail or whatever he's out on. And I think that the timing of my video forced the DA's office to make an arrest in that case because I think they were afraid he was going to go back and maybe retaliate against Don for turning him into the state troopers for drugs. You know what I'm saying? It's my thought, and it's only a thought. It's not fact.
It
But that's
seems
my opinion. That's my opinion. I released that on a Monday. They arrested that guy on a Tuesday, the very next day.
it seems very plausible.
Yeah, I think they brought that arrest date. Here's the thing with arresting people for stuff like that. All right, I'm all about getting drug dealers and shit off the street and get people that are criminals off the street. But here's the kicker: in New York State, they have to have 2 controlled sales in New York State to get you on the first sale. By the time they got you on the first sale, they already got you on the second one too, right?
Lost your audio. Kid, hear you. Rich, we lost you. I don't know if we can hear. Kid, can't hear you. No. Nope. Thanks a lot. Well, that was fun, guys. So it's almost quarter till. I'm going to log out of here and go over and wait for Finkel to open up the new channel to go live. Hope you guys enjoyed that. He's an interesting guy. We'll see you later. Let's see, leave studio.